My other favorite question is, why do people who experience narcissistic abuse do hoarding behavior? You see, hoarding isn't just about having a lot of stuff. It's often a complex response to deep emotional wounds inflicted by narcissistic abuse.
I see a prison. I become paralyzed with picking up and sorting out what to do.
Picture this. Individuals who have endured such abuse find themselves accumulating possessions like emotional armor, desperately seeking solace in a world that has left them scarred and vulnerable. So here we explore 10 reasons behind this complex and often misunderstood behavior. Emotional attachment to objects. Have you ever noticed how some people seem to form deep emotional bonds with their possessions? Well, for victims of narcissistic abuse, this isn't just about having a lot of stuff. It's often a way of coping with the emotional turmoil they've endured.
Some of the things that I like to hoard or hold on to are dishes, teapot, teacups. Both the cups actually have broken, so that's...
Picture this. After enduring the constant invalidation and manipulation from their abuser, these possessions become more than just objects. They're like lifelines, providing a sense of comfort and security in the midst of chaos. It's as if each item holds a piece of solace, a reminder that they are worthy of love and validation. This emotional attachment runs deep, serving as a shield against the pain inflicted by the abuser. And in a way, it's understandable. When the people who are supposed to care for you fail to provide the support you need, turning to objects for solace seems like the only option. So the next time you see someone holding on tightly to their possessions, remember that there's often a deeper emotional struggle at play, and perhaps a little empathy and understanding can go a long way in helping them heal from the scars of their past. Next, sense of control. Now let's explore another intriguing aspect of hoarding behavior, the need to be in control. Imagine living in a world where everything feels chaotic and uncertain. For individuals who have experienced narcissistic abuse, this feeling is all too familiar. That's where hoarding comes in. It's like building a fortress of possessions around oneself, creating a sense of order and stability in an otherwise tumultuous environment. When surrounded by their belongings, individuals feel empowered, as if they have regained control over their lives. It's a way of insulating themselves from the unpredictable nature of their past abuse, creating a barrier between themselves and the outside world. Each possession becomes a tangible symbol of this newfound control, a reminder that they have the power to shape their own environment. And in a way, it's a form of self-preservation, a way of reclaiming autonomy in the face of adversity. So the next time you encounter someone with a penchant for hoarding, remember that it may be their way of asserting control in a world that once felt overwhelmingly chaotic. Also, another reason is fear of loss. Let's unpack another compelling aspect of hoarding behavior, the fear of loss. Imagine feeling constantly on edge, fearing that everything you hold dear could be taken away from you at any moment. For individuals who have endured narcissistic abuse, this fear is all too real. It's like a shadow that follows them wherever they go, a constant reminder of the loss of control they experienced in the past. Hoarding becomes a way to safeguard against this perceived threat, a means of preserving what little sense of security they have left. Each possession becomes a shield against the uncertainty of the world, a barrier between themselves and the pain of potential loss. And in a way, it's a form of self-preservation, a way of holding on to what little stability they have left. So the next time you encounter someone who struggles with hoarding, remember that their fear of loss runs deep, and their possessions are more than just clutter. They're a lifeline in a world that once felt overwhelmingly unstable. Number 4, identity preservation. Imagine feeling like your sense of self has been constantly undermined and invalidated by those around you. For individuals who have experienced narcissistic abuse, this feeling is all too familiar. Possessions become more than just objects. They become extensions of one's identity, tangible reminders of who they are and what they value. In a world where their worth has been questioned and their reality distorted, these possessions serve as anchors, grounding them in their sense of self. Each item holds a piece of their identity, a testament to their worthiness and uniqueness in the face of gaslighting and invalidation. And in a way, it's a form of resistance, a way of asserting their identity in the face of those who seek to diminish it. So the next time you see someone surrounded by their possessions, remember that each item represents a piece of their identity, a symbol of resilience in the face of adversity. Number 5. Avoidance of grief and loss. What do I mean by this? Let's break it down. Imagine carrying the weight of past traumas, each one a painful reminder of the hurt and betrayal you've endured. For individuals who have experienced narcissistic abuse, this burden can feel overwhelming. Hoarding becomes a way to shield themselves from the raw emotions of grief and loss, a means of avoiding the pain that comes with letting go. Each possession holds memories, both good and bad, and releasing them can feel like reliving the trauma all over again. It's a way of preserving the past, holding on to what little remains of happier times before the abuse began. And in a way, it's a form of self-protection, a way of guarding their hearts against further pain and betrayal. So the next time you encounter someone struggling with hoarding behavior, remember that their clutter is more than just stuff. It's a shield against the pain of their past, a barrier between themselves and the memories they'd rather forget. Here is another reason: perceived value in objects. Imagine feeling constantly starved for validation, as if your worth is determined solely by the opinions of others. For individuals who have experienced narcissistic abuse, this longing for validation can be overwhelming. Possessions become more than just objects. They become symbols of validation and self-worth in a world where external validation is scarce. Each item holds a perceived value far beyond its material worth, serving as a source of comfort and reassurance in the absence of genuine affirmation.
But some of them are things that I had to really look at them before I could find some good reason to throw them out.
What's going on with that?
Once again, an attempt to be self-supporting. That's the driving force behind most everything.
And yet, it is also that mentality that got you here.
I know, yeah.
Right.
It's as if each possession whispers, "You are worthy," in a world that often fails to acknowledge their worth. And in a way, it's a form of survival, a way of finding validation and self-worth in the midst of emotional deprivation. So the next time you encounter someone with a penchant for hoarding, remember that their possessions are more than just clutter. They're a lifeline in a world that often fails to see their value. Number 7, difficulty making decisions. The trauma of narcissistic abuse can impair decision-making abilities, leading to indecision and avoidance of discarding items for fear of making the wrong choice. Next, this one is pretty relatable. Attachment to memories. Possessions often hold sentimental value, representing cherished memories or connections to happier times before the onset of abuse. Hoarding becomes a way to preserve these memories and maintain a sense of continuity. Number 9, compensation for lack of emotional support. In the absence of emotional support from the abuser, hoarding provides a form of self-comfort and emotional sustenance, offering a sense of companionship and stability. And lastly, this is super important: externalization of internal turmoil. Hoarding behavior can serve as a visible manifestation of internal turmoil and unresolved emotional pain resulting from narcissistic abuse. The cluttered environment reflects the chaos and disarray within the individual's psyche. Show your support by liking this video and subscribing to this channel. Watch another enlightening video over here. Until next time.